there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another Twisted TV video. The reason why I keep calling it Terror TV is because that's what I was gonna call these Thursday videos before, and then I decided on Twisted TV. In the end, it really doesn't matter. Last video, I talked about the entire second season of The Walking Dead as I binge watched it, so I didn't get through the entire third season of The Walking Dead. I figured I would divide it into 4 chunks. There's 16 episodes in season 3, so I watched the first 4, and what the fuck? Lori dies? The thing that sucks about that is this is how I binge watch things, because that happened the very end of the 4th episode and I really wanted to keep watching. But dude, I said last Thursday video that I don't like any of the female characters in this series yet. None of them have really given me a reason to like them. I still didn't like Lori. She was still being all hot and cold. Like at the beginning of this season, she's like being all super supportive to Rick. I think she realized she was a bitch when Rick confessed that he killed Shane. I think. I don't know. But she's being all like hot and cold, and then she like wants to talk about them, and Rick's being like cold as ice, and just he's turned into just like a rock solid ice man. Like he's just like all business, all badass, which I do dig. Well, anyways, at the beginning of season 3, the group finds a prison, and like I think most of us would think in our heads when we see that, like, that's the perfect place to to be in a zombie apocalypse, because there's high fencing with barbed wire at the top. There's cells for one. You can easily lock a section of it down. Of course, it's the perfect place, so they clear it out. Like they're kind of little by little killing all the zombies very systematically, which is kind of awesome. They become a well-oiled machine at like clearing out places and stuff like that. And eventually they find some prisoners had been stuck in the cafeteria. They were locked in when the zombie apocalypse started. An officer locked them in there to keep them safe, gave them a gun, and never came back, obviously because he probably got eaten. What I really like that's happening this season is that we're seeing really different scenarios. Like, we're not just seeing like, okay, here's what happens in a zombie apocalypse, and here's a group of survivors that kind of get forced to move around because of the zombies. We're also seeing a group that they were locked in the cafeteria for the whole 10 months, almost a year now, and they really don't know what's going on. They don't understand the walkers. They don't understand what they are. They thought it was just a huge crazy prison riot. They don't understand what's going on. They've been locked in the cafeteria for 10 months, luckily with food. And we also are following Andrea and Michonne, who come across Woodbury, where a very sketchy seeming governor kind of runs this town with, again, high walls, and they're trying to live as normally as possible. Like, it's almost like the Twilight Zone when Andrea and Michonne end up there, because people are, you know, walking around the town, there's no zombies, stuff like that. So you get to see very different ways that people are surviving the zombie apocalypse, which is kind of cool. Anyways, so in the 4th episode of this 3rd season, the remaining prisoners, Rick kills some of them off like badass way. I'm sorry, the sword to the head, fucking brilliant. One of them lets zombies in to the prison, and the group kind of gets split up a little bit. They're all kind of off doing their things on the prison grounds when the horde comes through, so they get separated. Lori goes into labor, and she's just with Maggie and Carl, and something's going wrong, and Maggie has to perform a C-section, which, with no drugs or medicine or anything like that, is very, very dangerous. So basically Maggie cuts her open and gets the baby out alive, and Carl is forced to shoot his mother in the head so she doesn't come back as a walker, which again, so I'm gonna say I cried. I definitely cried, because Not for Lori, because I still was like, meh. I feel heartless for saying that. Like, the poor lady, like, that sucks. And that had to happen in front of her son. I cried for Carl and Rick. Especially since the last conversation Rick and Lori had that we saw was kind of just like cold, and like there was some kind of hope, but you know, he didn't get a chance to say that he loved her, and he doesn't get to see her again because she dies. So I was crying for that, and at least Carl he was being kind of a dick to his mom too. Poor Lori. I kind of feel bad for her, I guess. But at least he got to say goodbye and got to tell his mom that he loved her. So I cried. But yeah, so that's how it ends, and now I really just want to end this video and go watch and see what happens next. So I'm gonna end this video here. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my face and hear more of my voice. Know if I am ever going to like any female character. Are any of them gonna kind of redeem themselves? Because right now it's not looking so great. But yeah, so until next time, stay strange. Bye.